In this video, I'm going to walk you through the process of creating a will in Ontario, making sure that it meets all the necessary requirements. I will also cover things like what makes a will legal in Ontario, what happens when you die without a will in Ontario, and of course, how to make your will in Ontario. So by the end of this video, you'll be able to confidently create your own will. And by the way, if at any point you feel like you need help creating a will, then I recommend to reach out to people from lawdepot.com because they are professionals and they will be able to help you. For your convenience, I'm going to leave a link to their website down in the description of this video. And with that in mind, let's get right into it. How to create a will in Ontario. Creating a will in Ontario might seem like a daunting task, but it's essential to ensure that your wishes are respected and your loved ones are taken care of when you're no longer around. Surprisingly, many Ontarians don't have an up-to-date will, but fear not, because making a will is more straightforward than you might think. What is a last will and testament in Ontario? Often called simply a will, your last will and testament is a legal document that lays out your wishes for what should happen after your passing. It serves as a blueprint for your family and loved ones to follow, ensuring your assets, including property, money, and sentimental items, are distributed according to your wishes. Moreover, your will allows you to name an executor and guardians for any dependents you may have. What makes a will legal in Ontario? You don't necessarily need a lawyer to create a legal will in Ontario. However, there are specific requirements that must be met to ensure your document is legally binding. Here's what you need to know. Testator eligibility. To create a legal will in Ontario, you must be of sound mind and over the age of majority, which is 18 in Ontario. Personal creation. You, the testator, must create the will yourself. It is not permissible to create a will on someone else's behalf. Witnesses. The will must be signed in the presence of 2 valid witnesses. Your witnesses should also sign the last page of your will alongside you. Physical copy. Your will must be signed with your wet ink and stored as a physical copy. Digital signatures are not accepted, and only the original copy of your will is considered valid. What happens when you die without a will in Ontario? Dying without a will in Ontario means you've died intestate, which doesn't automatically mean the government takes your estate. However, it does mean that the courts will use provincial laws to determine how to distribute your assets and appoint an executor and guardians for any minor children. Unfortunately, this distribution may not align with your wishes. The Succession Law Reform Act in Ontario dictates how your estate is distributed when you die without a will. Here's a general overview. If you have a spouse but no children, your spouse receives your entire estate. If you have a spouse and children, your spouse gets the first $200,000 and the remainder is equally divided between the children and your spouse. If you have no spouse but have children, your estate is divided equally among your children, with their share going to your grandchildren if they have passed away. If you have no spouse, children, or grandchildren, your estate is divided equally between your parents or entirely to the surviving parent if one is alive. Common law spouses and other loved ones may not be accounted for in these provincial rules, leaving them vulnerable. Additionally, dying without a will can create additional burdens and stress for your loved ones, leading to delays and potential legal complexities. How to make your will in Ontario. You don't necessarily need a lawyer or notary to create a will in Ontario. There are several ways to create a legal will depending on your specific situation. Online will platforms like Law Depot make creating a legal will convenient and affordable. Here are some benefits. Customize legal documents tailored to your unique situation. Create a will and power of attorney from anywhere in less than 20 minutes. Guided platform to ensure you don't overlook essential details. Expert support via phone, email, or chat. Easy updates to your will as your life changes. And transparent pricing with no hidden fees. Law Depot has partnered with top estate lawyers in Ontario, providing confidence that your document reflects your wishes. Plus, Law Depot is proudly founded and based in Ontario. Will kits in Ontario. Will kits are like fill-in-the-blank templates for creating a will. They can be useful for straightforward situations, but may not suit complex estates. Keep in mind that you will likely need a new kit each time you update your will, and costs can accumulate over time. Lawyer-drafted wills in Ontario. Although not required, legal advice can be beneficial for complex estates or when custom clauses are needed in your will. Lawyer-drafted wills offer the highest level of customization and legal guidance. However, they tend to be more expensive, typically ranging from $300 to $1,400 in Ontario, with additional costs for updates. Holographic wills in Ontario. Holographic wills, handwritten wills created without mechanical devices, are legal in Ontario. They may be an option if you can't have your will witnessed or have a legal background. However, they are error-prone, challenging to update, and require rewriting for any changes. Can I write my own will in Ontario? Yes, you can write your own will in Ontario as long as you meet the criteria for a legal will. You can confidently create your will using an online platform like Law Depot or even write it by hand if you prefer. Just be sure to follow the signing and witnessing requirements for the type of will you choose. In Ontario, only holographic wills, handwritten ones, do not require witnesses. When is probate required in Ontario? Probate is the formal acceptance of your will by the courts. Most estates in Ontario require probate except in cases where you don't own real estate or property. The probate fees in Ontario are waived if the estate is under $1,000. For larger estates, the fees vary based on the state's size. Does a will need to be notarized in Ontario? No, a will does not need to be notarized in Ontario to be considered legal. However, there are instances where a notary may be required, such as for an affidavit of execution, which confirms the validity of your will. The affidavit of execution is not mandatory for a legal will, but may be necessary if your will needs to go through probate. You can complete this affidavit when executing your will at a later date or even after your passing. How much does it cost to make a will in Ontario? Creating a will doesn't have to break the bank. With Law Depot, you can make a legal will for as little as $99. Costs for creating a will in Ontario can range from $0 to $400 for simple wills and can go higher up to $1,400 for more complex estates. Additionally, you may incur additional expenses each time you update your will. Will kits available at office supply stores or bookstores are cost-effective but best suited for straightforward estates. They're designed to be one size fits all and may not accommodate your unique life situation. In conclusion, creating a will in Ontario is a vital step in ensuring your wishes are respected and your loved ones are cared for. Whether you're choosing an online platform like Law Depot, a will kit, a lawyer-drafted will, or a holographic will, it's crucial to follow the legal requirements to make your will valid. And don't forget that if you feel like you need help creating a will, then I recommend you reach out to people from lawdepot.com. They are professionals and they will be able to help you. For your convenience, I'm going to leave a link to their website down in the description of this video. I hope this video was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe.